This video is for people whose life just doesn't work for them anymore. They're struggling in their careers, their relationships aren't working for them anymore, and what they need to do to cope with the reality of their life is really becoming really difficult. And in this video, I am sharing 3 clear signs that your soul has been trying to get your attention and has been calling you forward to something greater in your life. I'm Iris Siriani. I'm a self-love coach and a spiritual mentor, and I help people transform their lives from the inside out. So this, as I'm describing how nothing in life feels good anymore, this was me about 7 years ago. One of the things that was happening to me is that I was starting my spiritual awakening. So all of a sudden, this corporate career that I thought was so fantastic was no longer so fantastic, and it became very soul sucking for me. I didn't enjoy the travel anymore. I didn't enjoy what I was doing. I was working in healthcare, and all of a sudden I had a lot of resistance to the healthcare system and how we managed patient care from a clinical perspective. That fell out, like that didn't feel good to me anymore. So that is one clear sign that your soul has been calling to you to make a shift in your life, specifically in your career, with something that feels more in alignment with who you are. But making that shift and making that change for me was really hard, because that was my livelihood. And I didn't know how to change that. I know that for me it became very soul sucking and nothing about it resonated with me. But that is your soul saying, hey, come back to me, come back to the heart, come back into alignment, because you're meant to be doing something else. You're meant to be serving other people in a different way. This has served you well up until this point in time, but it's not going to cut the mustard, so to speak, anymore. You are being called to be of service in a bigger way. It's part of your awakening journey. So that is sign number 1. Sign number 2 is your relationship no longer resonates with you. Everything that you have created with your significant other, for whatever reason, no longer feels like you want to be part of that relationship and part of the co-creative process with this person. And this reminds me of that movie Eat, Pray, Love, where Julia Roberts looks around her life and she says that I was an active participant in creating everything with this man that she married. And she loved this man, and yet she didn't want it, and she couldn't really explain why she didn't want it, but it just wasn't working for her anymore. And so that's what happens when we enter into a relationship with somebody. There is a resonance of I see you, you see me, we're at the same point. And oftentimes what happens when people begin to awaken spiritually, they fall out of alignment in their relationships. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just happens as we start to expand our consciousness and waken up to our spiritual gifts and want to be more of service to raise the consciousness on the planet and serve other people. If our partner isn't coming along with us, it means that we don't no longer align with that, and we have to move on. But again, that transition is very difficult, because there's a lot of years invested. You have a lot of love for that person. Not every relationship is toxic, but they become unhealthy if we stay in them. And it's really scary to leave as well. But just know that if you're in that position, this is your soul calling you into alignment with something greater. And then the third tip that I want to share is the awareness that what you need to do in your day-to-day life that keeps you coping with the reality of how uncomfortable and out of alignment your life is, it gets to the point where it becomes a problem. So what I mean by that is alcohol. That was a thing for me. In order for me to cope with how disconnected I felt from all of my relationships, how horrible I felt and disconnected I felt in my relationship at that time, how I traveled so much, how out of alignment I was with the work that I was doing, the more that piled up, the more I drank, and my drinking became excessive, and I knew that it was becoming excessive, but I couldn't stop. I had to figure out a way to cope with my reality because I didn't know how to change it. I felt so completely, I don't know, what do I do? And I found myself saying like, why can't I just be happy? I hate my life. And I began saying things like, I hate myself. I hate my life. Those are all signs that you are very disconnected from your heart and soul and from your true purpose for being here. And your soul and your guides are wanting to get your attention. It's the discomfort that you feel that is your clear indicator that you're on the wrong path. Everything up until this point has got you to where you are, and you have taken the lessons and the experiences from everything that you've experienced, but now you're being called to let that go and to allow yourself to ascend to what is next for you. So if you are experiencing any of these 3 clear signs, know that you are on your awakening path, and just know that your soul is calling you back into alignment with who you truly are, so that you can be guided into a new direction in your life and creating a life of abundance and joy and fulfillment and new purpose and vision for yourself. So leave a comment below. Let me know what's going on in your life, and I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Take good care.